Oh, it was just wonderful earlier on this morning, waking up at the Backpackers and having a bit of a bite to eat and making our way up to this wonderful rainforest. Wasn't it lovely, Danny?
Yeah, it's a bit of a cracker. Some lovely old wood growth forests through the Otway Ranges and the Erskine Falls were just spectacular. It's always nice to get off the main road and have a bit of a look into the forests, particularly around Victoria. And as we said, in a couple of weeks we'll be heading down to Tasmania to check out the wonderful wood growth forests and some of the tallest swamp gums on the planet Earth with Mum. So there's going to be a bit of a cracker.
It's just so refreshing in those rainforests, being around that water and getting a view of all these beautiful trees. It makes me think around the world, as we were saying earlier, just how much of the planet is available where we can come and see these beautiful rainforests, these diverse ecosystems where so much life seems to comfortably exist, and what little of it remains. We already know that every single 24 hours 200,000 acres of rainforest is taken from this planet, and of that, what number of species seem to be lost amongst it. What were some other places we've been to, Danny, that give you the same sort of feeling? When we were talking about Tasmania.
Oh, it's a funny kind of thing, but you even get this kind of odd sensation, even right in the smack bang right in the middle of Central Australia. You get some wonderful feelings there of some ancient forests which would have been there a long, long time ago when the inland sea was there. There's many beautiful places around the planet Earth where you have these wonderful ecosystems, and what we really require is we need to get people back in touch with the earth and with living in these forest environments, just to get a feel for the energy of the earth and to have a greater respect for the wildlife and the trees that are created so much shade and wonderful housing for many of our Indigenous people right around the planet.
That's right, and even to this day we hear of horrible stories of continents still exploiting old growth rainforests in Indonesia and still used for chopsticks, which get exported up to Japan and to parts of Asia. We've already discussed and investigated a lot of times the benefit of hemp and other sorts of fibres and materials which are far less of an impact on the planet, and seeing these places and absorbing it, feeling your lungs and breathing in the air that these trees seem to filter, it's just, there's nothing more important. Even in our studies of ambulance work, and we talk about the lungs and alveoli and how we have air oxygen sacs in our lungs, the trees are really a giant version of our lungs inside our body. They filter and make sure this planet is habitable for human beings.
Well, ultimately people, the end user, not governments, not organisations, people power is what's required here. People have to start thinking for themselves and stop being greedy, and for that odd bit of Chinese Asian takeaways to restrict yourself from grabbing those one-off wooden chopsticks which normally get derived from the Indian rainforest, where those beautiful orangutans are losing their habitat. And this is the case for a majority of the environmental crisis that we dealing with at the moment. Is that it's a people issue. People have to really start making decisions for themselves and for what they purchase for their own homes, etc. The buck stops with the person who is spending it, and we have to stop relying on the governments and institutions around the world to dictate how we're going to spend that money. It's you. Start being responsible and start caring about the planet Earth, and we'll all have a future to live in.
That's right, Danny, and here we are. We've made our way back out of the beautiful forest and back to the ocean itself, which we tranquilly meandered just yesterday. And what a contrast it is, but it is where the oceans, where the land and the air meets, where we find all our diversity, and this is such a place for that. We've now left Lorne and we're back on the Great Ocean Road, and I reckon we're pretty soon to make a wonderful pit stop under the Great Ocean Road sign. These beautiful roads, I think they went up in the 40s and the 50s, and it's hard to imagine what work was involved in carving their way around the coastline here. And what a cracker of a spot, look at this.
It is a cracker of a spot. Here we go, there's the famous old sign for the Great Ocean Road, and it is a pristine environment. And as you were just saying, that I was a little voice inside my head reminded me of the ocean that was being distributed out at 13th Beach, which is just a bit further up on the ocean there, and just goes to show, these environments are still being polluted, and sewage is still being sent out into these wonderful oceans. So we need to obviously keep mindful of our wonderful environments, such as these beautiful beaches, and you just cannot allow raw sewage to be sent out into these pristine environments. We need to start caring for our successive generations right round the planet Earth. You just got to get real, get a bit fair dinkum, start pulling your head in, start thinking a little bit for the planet, for your family, and for the young ones who need to adopt this wonderful planet. And as a Native American saying is that we inherit this beautiful planet from our children. We need to give it back.
Absolutely there, Danny, and here we are, we're back, we've meandered our way back to the beautiful Queenscliff, where many years ago we did work experience for our school and got to explore some of the marine life there. It's a wonderful trip, pretty much cuts across the heads of the Port Phillip Bay, and gives us a glimpse of the beautiful ocean in a fairly tranquil form. Makes you think whenever you see water on this scale, and it's only a small level here. 70% of our Earth is covered in water, and we think of ice melt and what sort of rates we're losing ice on our south and north pole, also Greenland, Iceland, and it makes you think of not only the rate in which our sea levels are rising, but also the extra weight that extra water puts on our tectonic plates, and makes regions like Fiji and the Pacific Rim of Fire very active, as we're seeing right now around the planet. Parts of Japan, the west coast of South America and the States are starting to get an enormous amount of volcanic activity.
Yeah.
And where are we now here, Danny?
Well, we're just about to head back into the beautiful safety beach, Mount Martha, just passing Rosebud there, and heading to that beautiful little mountain that we grew up on. It's always lovely to get home safely. We'll be able to get back and get stuck into some fish and chips, which would be an amazing delicacy in the future when we might have to leave our oceans alone, for the plundering has gone too far, not just on the land but also in our oceans.
That's right, Danny. It's makes you have a good damn think about what's going on this planet, and what a wonderful trip this has been to give us a chance to have a good think about things from a distance and make our way around the beautiful Port Phillip Bay and up to the Great Ocean Road. We've always talked about trying to get these iron horses out, taking a bit of a trip and using the opportunity to see this planet in all its terrain, all its shapes and sizes. Hopefully on our next journey, when we get back to Melbourne, we'll get to join Mum on her beautiful 60th birthday, 60 spins around the sun, and if that's not just a remarkable effort by anyone's standards, I don't know what is. But coming home is a wonderful feeling at any time, and it always helps us just get out and appreciate what's going on out there on the planet, and particularly getting back to Mount Martha, our one original home, where it all began, where our journey to find peace on this wonderful earth all began way back yonder. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the Great Ocean Road adventure, and we've now got to get back and get stuck into climate change, the original mission that keeps us all driving today to keep this planet alive and well. Take it easy.